Hi there, we are back for another episode of Shadowbringers and we are doing main scenario quests here in Rang at X 9.6, Y 22.2, Z 1.2 and we have to talk to Gudjon. A dirty job. It's a level 77 quest and the rewards are optional dyes. Wine red, lilac purple and coral pink. Or we can have some gil. Luckily for you, Gudjon is a man of his word. To be honest, I wasn't sure you could pull it off. But you did, and I am a man of my word. Come with me. Every time I step out of those mines, the sky seems to get brighter. I'd never leave them if the air weren't so stale. But you're not come to hear my grievances. You're after Leonine. First, I have to ask, you ever heard of rockworms? Rockworms? I know them by another name. So I am fairly certain the locals call them knockers. Aye, that they too. Whatever you want to call them, those little bastards may be the answer to your troubles. They can fit through cracks and crevices. They can fit through cracks and crevices down there we could never hope to reach. And on accession, they come back with something valuable. They dig up Leonine in the mines. It's a rare occurrence, but yes. That said, it usually amounts to no more than a few flakes. Well, our only other option sounds tantamount to suicide. So how can we draw out these rockworms? Over by that shack, you'll find a bag full of smoke bombs. Set off a few in the mines and you'll flush them out in no time. Once they are out in the open, knock them senseless and check their backs. I should warn you, this method of mining, if you can even call it that, is used as a last resort on account of what little they are like to bring back. You'll want to cover as much ground as you can if you hope to find anything of value. Assuming you do find something, bring it here and I'll have a look. We should split up if we're to cover more ground, as he suggests. If you can cover these 3 areas on your map, I'll see to the parts between them. Okay, obtain the smoke bombs from the nearby shack. Okay. The air in the mines grows thick with smoke. Nearby, you hear the soft rumbling of stones. Okay. Ah. Inspect other slaylockers that appear to require hidden effects. There you are. Find anything promising? Between the two of you, I'd say you've got quite the haul. Best get comfortable, friends. It's going to take time for me to sift through all this.
You may not remember this about Arminfilia, but prior to founding the Path of the 12, long before the Scions, she was something of a miner. After her father died, Flamine took her in and taught her the trade. I think they were both seeking to fill the void left by a loved one. Maybe that's why she took to it so readily. Back in those days, I spent most of my time in the Quicksand, or some other tavern, loosening tongues and gathering secrets. Occasionally, I'd catch a glimpse of her in the street, on her way home after another hard day's work. I always felt a wave of relief when I saw she'd come back safe, along with a pang of guilt at the fact I wasn't there to support her as I should have been. Simply speaking with her more than once in a blue moon would have been a good start, but I could never bring myself to do it. Instead, I threw myself into my work and became every drunkard's best friend.
I can't imagine she thought too highly of you back then. Not your finest hour, to say the least. Yeah.
Far from it, and Flamine has never let me live it down. But that was a lifetime ago. Here and now I have another chance to do things right, and I will not squander it again.
Hey! Come and see what I found! You're not going to believe this.
Tell me it's Leonine.
It is at that. You lot were born lucky. It's mostly broken pieces. But look at this.
This is a rather fine specimen.
It's been decades since we found anything approaching this big. But that's not all. There's an engraving on it.
Ah, these scratches here. They're a little hard to make out. To my beloved Magnus and Schoolie.
Yes! Do you see? It was a gift to Magnus from his wife. She found it. She really found it. She must have spent her final hours carving this message into the stone, in the hope that he might see it one day. Those rock-backed bastards must have made off with it before we could clear a path to her. It's fate that brought you here to find this stone. No other explanation. It makes me wonder what else might still be buried in these parts.
So I'll take the money. Okay. And we have a new Issacuran quest, a reign in pursuit. So I will do this quest before I follow up with the main scenario quests. So that was it for now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye!